The quietest person in the room is probably the most dangerous one in it. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean they're watching everything, processing everything, and they already know things about you that you haven't even admitted to yourself yet. We live in a world that rewards talkers, loud opinions, instant reactions, fast answers. And so we've started to misread quiet people completely. We label them shy, distant, even rude. But here's the thing. That label says far more about us than it does about them. Here's what the science actually says. In 1998, psychologist Elaine Aron introduced the concept of the highly sensitive person, the HSP. She found that roughly 15 to 20% of the population has a nervous system that literally processes information more deeply than the average person. This isn't a flaw. It's a feature. Their brains use more neural pathways, meaning they feel more, notice more, and reflect more deeply. Neuroscience research using fMRI scans confirmed that introverts show greater activation in regions linked to internal processing, specifically the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain. And Carl Jung, who literally invented the concepts of introversion and extroversion, never said introverts were antisocial. He said they orient their energy inward. Silence isn't emptiness. Silence is fullness. There's an entire world happening inside a quiet person that most people never get to see. Quiet people are extraordinarily good observers. Adam Grant's research at Wharton found that introverted leaders often outperform extroverted ones. Here's why. Because they listen first and then act. They pick up on things others miss. Shifts in body language, unspoken tensions, patterns no one else noticed. Quiet people tend to form deeper connections, not more connections. Psychologist Susan Cain calls it preferring substance over surface. In her landmark book, Quiet, Cain argues that introverts prefer one meaningful conversation over a room full of small talk. Quality over quantity. Always. Quiet people have a gift for creative thinking. Research from the University of California found that solitude, which quiet people actively seek, is essential for breakthroughs. When you stop performing for others, your brain enters a default mode network state. That's where your most original ideas come from. Every single time. But here's what no one talks about. Being quiet, in a world that rewards loudness, carries a real psychological cost. And it's significant. Research in the Journal of Personality shows that introverts, who consistently mask their nature to appear more extroverted, experience significantly higher emotional exhaustion. It's called emotional labor. And quiet people can sometimes overthink to the point of paralysis. Because their minds are so active internally, they get caught in rumination loops. And quiet people can sometimes overthink to the point of paralysis. Because their minds are so active internally, they get caught in rumination loops. The lesson isn't that being quiet is better or worse. It's that it's different. And that difference has been systematically misunderstood. And that creates a very real loneliness. So here's the reframe. Being quiet doesn't mean you have nothing to say. It means you choose when to say it. That is a superpower. Quiet people speak with intention. When they do speak, people lean in because they've spent 10 times longer thinking about what they're saying than the person who just blurted it out. Psychologists Brian Little and William Fleeson shows quiet people can act extroverted when something deeply matters to them. They're not incapable of socializing. They're selective. There's a profound difference between can't and won't. Quiet people know exactly which one they're choosing, and that self-awareness alone sets them apart from most. You're not broken if silence is your natural state. You're not cold if you need time before you respond. These are features of a particular kind of mind, a mind that the world needs, even when it doesn't always recognize it. Especially then, if you're a quiet person, or you love one, Drop it in the comments right now. It'll tell me more about you than 1,000 words ever could. And if this video gave you language for something you've been feeling for a long time, that's exactly why we make this content every single week. Next week, we're going into the psychology of people who seem completely fine but are silently falling apart inside. You won't want to miss it.